Of the 60 MPs in the region, 23 are new to the job and all but 3 are Tory. Alex Dunlop has been looking at some of the class of 2010.
3 new players in the next dynasty of MPs, and they know politics needs a makeover.
You're going to see MPs that are going out of their way to be locally rooted in their communities, to hold themselves very strongly accountable. And as a younger MP coming into Parliament, I'm really excited about that prospect.
I think people are tired of the old way of two sides slagging each other off. You know, Prime Minister's Question Time is just hideous. And I think what's needed is a much more mature approach to politics.
It's great, you know, that we've got some new faces, different generation and some more women as well in Parliament now.
The tally of women MPs now stands at 6, all new and all Tory. Louise Bagshaw was best known for writing steamy romance novels. So will the new Corby member forsake her purple prose for the green benches.
I can probably write it in a couple of hours at the weekend. So yes, after the kids have gone to bed on a Saturday night, I might knock out a chapter or 2.
High-profile Tories like Elizabeth Truss in Norfolk South West and Robert Halpin in Harlow secured easy wins. But 2 things strike you about the new intake. First, their numbers, 23 of them, and secondly, their age, all relatively young and untainted by the expenses scandal. And who would have thought that this 10-year-old would one day become, like his father, John, a Suffolk MP? Well, perhaps Ben Gummer did, but even he was taken aback by his win in Ipswich.
Did you expect that victory? I mean, you've now got a majority of 2,000 odd.
No, I didn't.
As the applause dies down and the end credits roll on this election, voters will watch the new generation to see if they can provide a new take on politics. Alex Dunlop, BBC Look East.
And for more details on every aspect of the election, remember you can log on to bbc.co.uk/election. Coming up later in the programme, we're looking ahead to the weekend sport, plus the voters get their final chance to sit on Mike's election bench. Now for a breakdown of the election results in Essex, Suffolk and Norfolk. Suffolk first, and we've already heard about Ipswich and Waveney. They've gone from red to blue. Here's Richard Daniel with the other constituencies.
Well, Susie, tonight Suffolk is blue through and through. All 7 constituencies held by the Tories. Now, Ben Gummer's father, former Cabinet Minister John Gummer, has reason to be doubly pleased tonight. Not only did he see his son elected, but his Suffolk coastal constituency was held onto by Therese Coffey for the Conservatives with a majority of 10,000 votes. Lib Dems knocked into second there. She is Suffolk's first women MP. Now, Dr Dan Poulter also managed to keep hold of the central Suffolk and North Ipswich seat. That was held by the former Deputy Speaker, Michael Lord, for many, many years. The Lib Dems driven into second there. In West Suffolk, the Conservative Matthew Hancock held the seat with 24,312 votes. That's a majority of 13,050 over the Lib Dems. Now, he's pledging to work for everyone in his constituency.
I want to work tirelessly for West Suffolk, to put your interests first, to listen to you and to be a voice for you and to represent you in Parliament to the best of my ability.
Now, in fact, tonight there are only 2 familiar old faces. We've got David Ruffley. He held on to Bury St Edmunds. His majority there was 12,380. And in South Suffolk, the Conservative candidate Tim Yeo kept his job. Again, it was the Lib Dems who were pushed into second place. Back to you.
Richard, thank you. In Essex, it was a similar story, with the notable exception of Colchester, which remains in Liberal Democrat hands. Here's Ian Balmer with a roundup.
Essex was a blue county before the general election. Now it's just a little bit more blue. Simon Burns in Chelmsford pretty much followed the general trend. He held on to his seat despite a strong challenge from the Lib Dems, who ran him close.
I'm over the moon. I love being a Member of Parliament for Chelmsford. I thrive on the challenges and trying to help constituents with their problems.
There was victory after victory, with Essex Conservatives holding on to their seats with comfortable majorities. In the process, they wiped Labour off the political map. The only speck of yellow in a sea of blue came in Colchester, where Bob Russell held his seat for the Lib Dems despite a Tory challenge.
It's a higher vote, a higher majority and a higher percentage of the vote, so I couldn't have asked for more.
And neither could David Cameron on the strength of today's results in Essex. Ian Barmer, BBC Look East.
In Norfolk, we've already heard how the former Home Secretary Charles Clarke lost his seat in Norwich South and how Elizabeth Truss won South West Norfolk. The result of the other counts now from Debbie Tubby.
And the said Chloe Rebecca Smith.
Conservative Chloe Smith, one of the youngest MPs in Parliament, has held her seat. She won the Norwich North by-election after Labour's Ian Gibson resigned.
I don't think people want Gordon Brown to continue as the Prime Minister, and I have confidence that is what the weekend's horse tradings will show.
Keith Simpson has been returned as a Conservative MP, this time for the newly created constituency of Broadland. After 13 years of Labour, Great Yarmouth has also turned blue.
Brandon Kenneth Lewis.
Brandon Lewis takes over from Tony Wright. He has a majority of more than 4,000.
It would be childish of me to say I wasn't disappointed because I've enjoyed the last 13 years. I've regarded it as an honour and a privilege.
In North West Norfolk, Henry Bellingham was re-elected for the Conservatives. Manoush Sood came third. He's the Labour candidate who described Gordon Brown as the worst Prime Minister this country has ever had. In South Norfolk, Richard Bacon held his Conservative seat with an increased majority, as did George Freeman in Mid-Norfolk.
Norman
Lamb retained his seat in North Norfolk for the Liberal Democrats, one of only 2 yellow seats here.
We got a majority of 10,600 with a much larger constituency. We've increased the majority now.
Norfolk no longer has any Labour seats, just a sea of blue and a speck or two of yellow. Debbie Tubby, BBC Look East, Norfolk.
Other news briefly, and 2 men have been charged with murder after the death of a man who was attacked in Great Yarmouth. Archie Morris died at the James Paget Hospital in Galston 2 months after the assault near his home. He was 52. The 2 men have been remanded in custody. The number of people arrested by police investigating an attack on a young man near Ipswich has reached 11. The victim was found at the Orwell Country Park and is in a critical but stable condition. And we've just heard that 5 people will appear before magistrates in Ipswich tomorrow. Prince Harry is to be based in Suffolk. It's been confirmed today that he's to be stationed at the Wattisham Air Base while he trains as a helicopter pilot. This report contains some flash photography from the start.
Watched by his girlfriend Chelsea Davy, Prince Harry today graduated from an advanced helicopter training course. He and 8 other pilots were awarded their provisional wings by the Prince of Wales, who is the Army Air Corps' Colonel-in-Chief. The completion of the course meant Prince Harry was entitled to apply to train on the Apache helicopter. The aircraft is the Army's elite attack helicopter and is based with 3 and 4 regiments Army Air Corps at Wattisham Airfield near Stowmarket. Commanders judged that the Prince's skills and flying abilities best suited the Apache, which was designed to hunt and destroy tanks. It's been extensively used in Afghanistan to assault enemy ground positions and fly cover for Chinook heavy lift support helicopters. Harry has made no secret of his desire to return to the front lines in Afghanistan. He'll now spend another 8 months improving his flying skills in Hampshire before heading to the Suffolk base next year. John Cranston, BBC Look East.
Football.